Let's finish these up. If your painting is all curled up like mine is, just kind of roll it the opposite way. Gently folding, don't put any big creases in it, and it should lay a little more flat. There we go. I'm going to draw a little detail in my foreground. I'm going to draw a little bear. You don't have to put anything else in your foreground. If there's something you want to add, this is the time to do it now. It could be an animal, it could be more things from nature, big rocks, boulders, anything else. But if you have the space, you can do it. You don't have to if you don't want to. So I'm going to draw it with a pencil and outline it. Now I'm going to work on my river. I'm going to do kind of a lighter green. What I don't want to do is make all of the colors the same shade, because that's not very interesting to look at. And water is usually lighter, so I'm going with some water, and I'm just kind of making sure that my river is a different color, a different shade, different darkness than the ground that's near it. And I'm putting quite a bit of water on this because I'm going to do a special watercolor trick with this, and it needs lots of water. So make sure you can just keep adding water to make sure that you've got enough there. Now I'm going to sprinkle some salt. Yes, salt, the kind of thing you put on food. Sprinkle lots of salt right there, just where it's wet. We're going to let this dry, and it is going to create a really cool bumpy looking texture. Now, again, I'm just going to add some texture, going back with a very, very dark green, and I'm just adding some little branches to my tree. I'm not coloring it perfectly neat. I want that texture. I want it to look a little scraggly and bumpy because it's a pokey pine tree. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to add some texture to my mountains as well. Now let's add a really interesting detail to our background. I'm going to wash this brush really good, and now I'm going to dry it on my sponge. I'm going to just draw an X, and that sponge will soak up water. I'm going to use some white paint, and I'm going to just make some bumpy looking clouds. We don't have white watercolor, so I'm using tempera. And the tempera is a little bit see-through, so I'm going to load up my brush pretty good. You can see I'm kind of dabbing it on in a cloud shape, and I might have to let it dry a tiny bit and go back and add some more so we can see it even better. But I'm going to make some big ones and some small ones. The small ones are going to be far away, right? So I'm going to make sure that my paintbrush is loaded up nice and full with a lot of white paint. And I'm just doing dabbing. So I'm going to keep going and adding these clouds, touching up anything else that I want to.